18th, 2024 meeting of the Fitchburg School Committee. I call this meeting to order. Please be advised, FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. I ask anyone in the audience who's recording this meeting, please identify yourself for the record. Seeing no one recording, I just ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode. Okay. Now we will do the salute to the flag. Would School Committee member Rosemary Reynolds please lead us in the salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I almost started in the middle of the Father.
Very good, Rosemary.
Okay, so we have school committee members and student reports. So I have a school committee chair report. I'm just going to mention that myself and Vice Chair Pete Stevens, we attended the Massachusetts Association of School Committees and School Superintendents and
Executive assistants, right?
Yeah, COSPA.
COSPA, yeah, that joint conference, and it was really a good experience, especially for me, knowing a lot about city things, and getting to learn all of the many acronyms that exist.
I was going to say, did they give you a quiz by the end with all the acronyms?
Well, I'm no stranger to asking all the questions about the acronyms, but I know Be Positive attended the conference and gave a seminar. Former school committee member Sally Cragen and now city councilor, and Pete Stevens was there, and our disability commission member Cap Corjuan and her dog Kiefer. So it was a really great experience. Learned a lot. I saw former Superintendent Andre Ravenel and took a lot of engaging seminars, updates to Title IX, ways for school committees and municipalities to collaborate more, and just I even got a school leadership certificate. Right. So I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Pete, since you were there.
No, you covered everything quite well. The thing you should have seen was my car, where I took Cap and Sally and the dog and the cat. And of course, the dog is a Burmese mountain dog.
Oh, yeah, there's Reggie the cat.
And Reggie the cat. And
They have a lot of dog hair and cat hair out.
Oh, my car was full.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was great.
Fitchburg is still the leader in pet therapy in the state, and people are still interested. And we had a very good conference and a good workshop. We're going to continue to do it.
Yep. Yeah, the pet therapy was the hit. All right, so that was that. And so we have a report of the Resource Subcommittee.
Resource and school buildings will be meeting on December 3rd.
December 3rd, 5 o'clock?
At 5 o'clock, yes.
All right, fantastic. Policy Subcommittee.
Nothing to report at this time, but we will be meeting on December 11th at 5 p.m. Central Office.
All right, December 3rd. Okay, great. Student Support Subcommittee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Our meeting was this evening, and I was very excited to hear about the START form that is used in the Fitchburg Public Schools as a way of intervention to identify students that need to be in Tier 1 and that need to be in Tier 2 and Tier 3. And we also discussed some of the plans that we have for behavior management use in the system. And so that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. What were the updates on behavior management? Can you speak a little bit about ours?
Yeah, we talked a little bit about kind of some proactive strategies that teachers can use regarding behavior management. We talked about making sure classes are engaging. Student engagement is a big piece around behavior management. And then we talked about, what happens if a student is having behavioral needs. We talked about how we have a meeting called the START meeting, which is a student that needs additional supports. where teachers come together and talk about different strategies that they can use, and then teachers go back and try them. And then let's say a student's still not responding to the suggestions, then we can actually go in and put in a referral for behavior assessment, where our clinical interventionist or BCBA will come in and observe the child, and then put a plan together for that child to be successful. So we just talked about some of the strategies that we would give teachers to use, and then some of the supports that are in place in the district.
That sounds great.
Yep.
Thank you for sharing. Any questions or comments? All right, thank you. Okay, moving on. School Personnel Subcommittee, we have no report at this time. Student Representatives reports.
Good evening. I said this at the last meeting, but the Breakfast of the Bands is at Leominster High School on November 24th from 8 to 11 a.m. Admission is $8, and kids under 8 eat free. All proceeds go to support the Fitchburg and Leominster High School bands. Tickets can be purchased from FHS and LHS, the Valerie Law Office, the Leominster Mayor's Office, any band members, and any Fitchburg or Leominster Rotarian.
And there's also tickets at the Fitchburg Mayor's Office, too.
Oh, yes, that wasn't on the form, but yes.
In the central office.
In central office.
Oh,
You could call me too if you need any.
all right.
A dodgeball tournament will be held at FHS on the 20th at 2:15. December 11th is the welcome dinner at the Old Mill for the 3 sophomores who have been inducted into the Step Up to Excellence program. Tomorrow, Tuesday, November 19th, Fitchburg High School will once again be hosting the Special Olympics Basketball Jamboree. The event will be held in the Field House at 2:45. And this year's Fitchburg versus Leominster Thanksgiving football game will be held at Doyle Field at 10 a.m. The Student Council is holding the annual FHS Thanksgiving Can Drive against Leominster High. So non-perishables and monetary donations are being collected until the 25th, and the winner will be revealed at the Thanksgiving football game. So let's keep up our winning streak.
Performances of the FHS's winter play Lost and Found in IKEA are on December 13th and 14th at FHS, both at 7 p.m. Memorial Middle School is planning a turkey trot run on November 27th to encourage students and families to donate canned goods. The grand opening of the McKay Playground is on Wednesday, November 20th from 9:45 to 10:15 outside at the playground area. Memorial is having a student-staff basketball game from 5 to 7 on December 12th, put on by the United Way Youth Venture Program. December 1st at 5:30 is the holiday lighting ceremony at Fitchburg's Upper Common. The FHS band will be playing their Christmas music. And the 27th is an early release day to begin Thanksgiving break. That is all. Thank you.
When is the Step Up program?
What is it? Is that
When is it?
Oh, when is it? So the dinner for that is at the Old Mill on the 11th at 3.
December 11th?
Yes.
Oh, no, not at 3.
No, it's is it 5?
Let me,
Hold on.
yeah, 5.
Is it 5?
At 5, yep.
Quick question. What were the times for the McKay dedication playground?
9:45 to 10:15.
Okay.
When?
9:45 to 10:15.
On Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday.
Yeah, this Wednesday at 9:45.
And on the canned food drive, can they be dropped off at the central office, or do they have to be up at the high school for the canned drive?
They're collected by our teacher advisors, Catherine Fontaine and Deborah Morand.
So Fitchburg High.
Yeah,
High school,
Fitchburg
okay.
High.
All right, okay.
Market basket gift cards.
Yes.
Those are the good ones. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any questions or further questions, comments? Okay, thank you. Moving on in our agenda. We have approval of the minutes from a previous school committee meeting of November 4th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes?
Second.
Motion and second to approve the minutes from Monday, November 4th. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Well, okay, that is unanimous. We have communications? No
have none.
communications? And public comment? Did you receive any public comment via email?
I did not.
And I now invite anyone in the audience that wishes to speak.
Mr. Peter?
You are free to make a public comment of no more than 5 minutes in length.
Thank you. By way of introduction, my name is Peter Perry. I live here in Fitchburg. I have the good fortune of being in my 26th year of teaching for Fitchburg Public Schools, currently as a math teacher at Fitchburg High. I also happen to be struggling and battling with cancer. I'm 7 years into battling an incurable cancer. I have the same cancer that killed Steve Jobs and Aretha Franklin. My doctor asks me repeatedly, how is it that I'm still functioning and doing well? And I tell her it's because I love getting up and teaching at Fitchburg High. 2 weeks ago, my world just about came down crashing upon me. On Monday, Assistant Principal Doug Sachoka took me aside and said, "You don't look well, you don't appear to be yourself, I think you should go home." I went home. On Tuesday, I attempted to go back to work. Unbeknownst to me, I was doing even more poorly than I realized. Through the help of John Thompson, who, by the way, had called the police to do a medical check Monday evening, Superintendent Thompson, Dr. Braga, through a friend of mine also, got me to the hospital on Tuesday. My doctors told me that had I not gone to the hospital on Tuesday, I would have been dead in 24 hours due to a chemical imbalance that was brought on by my cancer. I have the good fortune to continue to be at Fitchburg High, to stand in front of you, because I work for an administration that is compassionate and full of grace. During the week while I was at the hospital, I stayed in contact with my friend, Assistant Superintendent Jeremy Roach, who I had the pleasure of working with for 11 years. I have felt nothing but continuous support. In a time where we're struggling with contracts and negotiations, I feel so grateful to be working for not an organization, not a corporation, but a community. And my community stood by me, took care of me, and I get the chance to go to work again and some more. I'm so grateful. 80% of the people that have my cancer don't make it 10 years. I'm convinced, with the support of the people around me and my community, I will continue to be able to go to work for as long as I want to. I stand here and celebrate my leadership. I am nothing but grateful. I'm humbled by your concern for others. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow.
We're glad you're feeling better, Peter. Thank you for all you do for our students. And we're glad we could help you in your time of need.
Thank you.
I appreciate you sharing that story.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you for taking care of my school system.
No, it's Peter. It's thank you for taking care of our students. You know, we have been friends for many years, and we mentioned Step Up to Excellence before. Peter's been involved in that.
Yes, I have.
And many, many times Peter has taken care of
Shrinking away from the mic.
Peter has taken care of students.
This is my life,
Yes.
and you have helped it. Thank you, John. Thank you.
No, thank you, Peter.
So glad to see. I can't wait to see your dogs again
Yes.
when I go on a walk.
When you waved and said, "Hi, Peter," the other day, I was so grateful. But let me tell you, again, I had to come here. I think that others need to know that this is just not paper and pencil and contract. This is compassion. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now I'm going to run away.
All right. Okay, I see no more No more members of the public. So we will move on to Superintendent's report.
Thank you. This evening, we have a special guest to start off. We have Miss Mercandanti. Did I say that correct? I didn't. Mercandante, thank you. One of our FHS music teachers here to talk about an out-of-state field trip.
I love field trips.
Come on up.
You can plug right in.
You can plug right in. You should be able to plug in right up there. You can help. If it works.
See here. Well, it's stupid me. I didn't charge it while I was working on it.
Yeah, that little hole in the floor should have a
Where's that?
plug, right? Dan?
Is it right in front of me with blinking lights and arrows?
It comes out from near the mic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's right on.
Oh, perfect.
Because they talk.
So,
This one is pretty. Nice and warm.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
So you just got to close it to push the podium back.
Well, let's see if we have anything in our magic box. That one's like the...
That looks okay.
Technology. There we go. That should work.
Hopefully.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Dan.
Appreciate it, Dan.
Thank you so much for the help setting up. Let's see if it appears. I don't know if I have to. No signal. Oh, there we are. Okay.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have to restate my name. I think we all, you gave me a great introduction. I'm so proud to stand here as one of the high school music faculty. It's been a long time coming. I've been wanting to join Tabitha for many years, actually. Her and I are really good friends, and it's been fabulous working together. We just took our students this past weekend to the Central District auditions, and the kids did phenomenal. We received results that none of them were accepted. However, it was a fabulous learning experience for all of them, and I have so much pride in all of them for giving so many hours to both me and Tabitha. After school, we spent so much time coaching them and developing their own sense of confidence so that they could have gone to that confidently. So this brings me to the next opportunity for the kids. It's called the New England Music Festival Association. And so outside of Massachusetts, we now have the New England states. And it's a diverse community of music educators from public and private schools, youth ensembles, private studios, and parents. So this organization actually features students who are homeschooled, students who have alternative methods of education as well. And it features the 6 New England states too. So it's a really cool experience. It says, we are dedicated to offering high school musicians from across New England the opportunity to pursue musical excellence through solo and ensemble festivals and concert festivals, and instill in each student a lifelong interest in music as a basic human experience. And most of the information on these slides is taken directly from the NEMFA website. Purposes and functions. The Solo and Ensemble Festival is an annual event. It's going to be taking place on December 14th. It's a Saturday. It's an annual event that provides instrumental and vocal music performance adjudications for high school musicians in New England. These performance adjudications serve two purposes: to offer a true performance situation with professional subjective adjudication, and to be evaluated using a set of criteria so that the adjudication ratings can be used, if desired, as criteria for invitation and acceptance into the concert festival, orchestra, band, or chorus. The Solo and Ensemble Festival consists of two similar events scheduled on 2 Saturdays in December, one at a northern site and the other at a southern site, the location being selected on a basis of availability and suitability of facilities and equipment. So now, almost 17 years ago, I can remember being a first-year teacher and getting involved with NEMFA for the very first time. It was a truly mesmerizing experience. I spent many years taking choral students to this festival and have acquired so many memories that helped, give young high schoolers a chance to perform in a 250-member chorus. The majestic sound of the chorus cannot be expressed in words. It must be experienced. I'm so excited to be the high school choral director in Fitchburg and bring this possibility to the student body at FHS. Students will walk away from the festival having sung the finest choral repertoire available and will have made many connections to other young musicians from New England. Who is eligible? The Solo and Ensemble Festival is available for all high school musicians properly registered in New England schools in grades 9 through 12, and whose sponsors are members in good standing of the association. So as a public school teacher, I would be their sponsor. This includes schools without music departments, students from state-registered home schools, where their parents serve as their sponsors, and high school students who are sponsored by their private music teachers. Membership in a school-based performing ensemble is not required, but highly encouraged. Another unique facet of this festival is that the students have choice on what songs they get to sing. So if you go to the NEMFA website, you'll see repertoire lists for vocal and instrumental music. And what's great is that it aligns beautifully with the National Music Standards repertoire as well. So we're actually getting students to pick from the curriculum that we typically pick from, and the repertoire ranges from SSA, SSAA. These just stand for vocal parts, so if you're familiar with singing. The S stands for soprano, the A is an alto, and the T is a tenor, and the B is a bass. And so I just put a picture of the barbershop quartet, because I know some of you might be familiar with that, the quartet singing ensemble. One of my students who I registered does not want to participate in the concert festivals, so there is a Commons-only option. So when he goes to audition, we're just going to tell the adjudicators, this student would just like the experience of auditioning and doesn't expect to be, part of the festival in March. And obviously I would come before you again if we had students accepted, but that's an option. This year's festival audition site is located at Griswold High School in Griswold, Connecticut, and you can see on the map, we're right up here. And it's, a straight shot right down into Connecticut, about an hour and 30 minutes. So on the day of auditions, the mode of transport would be a multifunction school bus. And I have reached out to the people in charge of the MFSB vehicle, and they've given me the form to fill out. Jeremy actually helped out with that. The tentative schedule of the day is that we would depart around noon. We'd arrive around 1:30. 1:30 to 2 o'clock, students warm up. 2 to 3:30, students engage in auditions. 3:30, we depart the high school, and 5 o'clock, we return to Fitchburg High School. And just so that you can see, these are the students who I've auditioned online. You can see that in the green section, it says ensemble vocal. That means that they're singing in a quartet together. And you can see that the title of their performance piece, the composer, and then we have several of the people who are doing the ensembles also wanted to do a vocal solo piece. So we've got selections from some musicals, Phantom of the Opera, Sweeney Todd. They're very excited about it. So, like I said before, if the students score high enough on their performances, they can be invited to the concert festival, and that is being held at Middletown High School on March 13th through 15th, and that will be an overnight festival, which would require more, obviously, details and preparation. So these are just some small little photos from past festivals, and you can see the size of the choir is enormous. It's, I think, around 250. Additionally, students who do this festival for 4 years in a row, if they start off as freshmen and decide to continue to do it sophomore, junior, senior year, they can be eligible for a scholarship. It's awarded to one instrumentalist and one vocalist who have done the festival for 4 years and who've received the highest performance rating. And just for everybody knows, one of the board men on the committee of NEMFA actually told me that Fitchburg and Leominster, the surrounding towns, had both participated in this festival back in the 1960s. We had actually a very large band and chorus at that time. There is evidence in the high school right now, all this old music, and they took students to this festival a long time ago, so it's really interesting to bring that history back.
Is this our first time back in several years?
Yeah.
Since then?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
At least, I believe so. I'd have to look into the staff in the 80s and 90s and see, but I mean, I don't know who I could go to for that information, a historian or somebody.
Pete, you remember?
Yes, I do.
We have one here. Hold on.
There are two people that you really could talk to, Al Demick and Bill Williams. Bill Williams is available.
Military band, Bill Williams?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Bill Williams and Al Demick were my music teachers and directors at Memorial, and they'll have a lot of knowledge.
Good to know.
Marsha Gilbride, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And this is just a message from NEMFA. They have this on their website. And I think that my favorite part of this little message is, while these accolades will bear witness to the gifts, talents, and musicianship of our students, we feel strongly that the festival adjudication process carries the most value too. So it's not only about the performance, it's about the learning experience and the coaching and the excitement that comes from that, and the small achievements that kids feel every day, you know, when you're getting farther and farther in a piece. So that's all I have.
That's great. So this evening, just so you know, it's the first action item, 24433. We just need your approval to allow students to travel.
Can we take that out of?
I think there was two questions first. I think Debbie and then Rosemary.
I'm just excited to hear that this is back after so many years. And I don't know about anyone else, but whether they get accepted or not, invited or not, I would like to see a few of them come here and perform for us.
Sure, yeah.
Can we have that? That'd be great.
They would
Just get
be
in touch.
thrilled. I'm sure they would be thrilled. Yeah, thank you for the invitation.
And you have a holiday concert, right? That the choir and the band is?
It's not technically a holiday concert, but we have the tree lighting and we have the the 175th anniversary concert coming in January. So
you can see them perform also December 1st, 5:30 at the
Yes.
Upper Common with Santa.
yes.
She stole the words from my mouth. I was hoping that you might come here. How many students will you be taking? You mentioned a quartet. Is that
So yeah, let me go back to the. So this shows.
Oh, all those people?
Well, it's actually only 6 students, but what I've done is I've kind of put them in quartets, and then several of them are doing duplicate auditions. And then the cool thing about this festival is the kids can audition in duplicate settings. They can audition as a soloist and as a quartet member. And so it kind of gives them, whereas in districts this past weekend, they could only just audition once as a soloist. So this gives them some more options.
It's wonderful. Thank you.
Yep.
Again, it's great that this is being revived. I didn't know that this existed. I think that the students at Fitchburg High are lucky to have you and, now I Tabitha, to be in the music department, to revitalize the band and the choir. And I think it's a great opportunity for students to participate in events like this, regardless of whether it's music or some other event. That we had the robotics team in last year, to be in a public setting, to perform and compete and learn from the process, and to be able to perform in front of more than just their teacher or their colleagues at the high school. I'm glad you came before us. I wish you all
Thank you so much.
very, very best. And
Thank
I
you.
hope you have to come back again.
I know, that'd be great.
Do you want to take this out of order?
Take it out of order.
Okay.
Yeah. You want a motion to take it out? Make a
Motion,
motion
yeah.
to take 24-433 out of order.
Second?
Motion and second to take 24-433 out of order. Any comment, question? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's unanimous. It is now out of order.
Make a motion to approve 24-433.
Second?
Motion and second to approve 24-433, approve the superintendent's recommendation to allow the out-of-state field trip to Griswold High School for a group of our high school students to participate in the New England Music Festival's audition on Saturday, December 14th. Any comments or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
And that is unanimously approved.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Good luck. We can't wait to hear about it. Yeah. And let us know when you're ready to come to school committee.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right?
And let us know if we can be of assistance.
Sure.
Thank you so much. All right, our next item, we're really excited tonight to give you an update regarding all our current capital projects that we have going on throughout the district. And also, we want to provide you with an update on where we are with our security upgrades. So this evening, Assistant Superintendent of Finance and Operations, Jeremy Roach, has put together a brief presentation to give you an update on where we're at this point. Do you need me to run it, Jeremy? Because I can. I have it up right now.
Yeah, if you have it, that's great. I'll just say, too, as we're getting that ready, I know Talia has done a great job of building the chorus program at Fitchburg High, having the 2 teachers at a school that size, having, an instrumental focused teacher and a choral focused teacher is really important. So great job with that, and best of luck.
Yeah, and that's a thank you to the school committee for allowing us to invest that extra funds, because when I was assistant superintendent transitioning to being the superintendent, that was one of the pieces Tabitha said we're really holding our kids back because we can't offer more options.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that we were able to do. So thank you for supporting the additional funding for that. Jeremy, you all set with the update?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So walk us through a little bit of...
Oh, sorry. And that's in front of you.
Yeah, you should have copies.
There's actually 2 copies of it. One, you'll see a chart, and then there's actually the complete presentation. It's the same thing. So, other one. I think you only have one.
Yeah, so I'll give a kind of a high-level update of the various larger capital projects that have been ongoing either through the summer or even a little bit before, and where they stand. If it's green, that means it's done, which is great. Again, there's a couple of slides that have a number of items listed in this way, and then we can talk a little bit about some other initiatives. So the South Street Early Learning Center roof, the south building, and then the connecting building to the east building was completed. It started over the summer, and that was a complete strip it down to the bare bones and rebuild it. You can see the cost there, and then also the funding source, which happened to be ESSER 3 mainly, with a little bit of our IVAC grant to be able to support that. And the cost there of being almost $1.2 million upon completion. We will get into some of the details of the surveillance system upgrade, the security system upgrades that are still ongoing, though we are very close to substantial completion of that project and integration, which is a big part of a project that's really highly technical in terms of the upgrades with respect to the components, and which are really technological mainly. That is also an ESSER-funded project, so not one that we've used city funds for. And the cost is just under $2.5 million for that particular project. We will be redoing the entire Fitchburg High School front door set. There's actually 8 doors in that set. It's like 4 sets of double doors. It's being manufactured and rebuilt. It'll actually be installed. We should take delivery in December, and with installation over the February break, because it really needs to be done when school's not in session. Because it would kind of be a security issue, to have doors ripped out during the day.
Sounds not great.
Yeah, no, that's one that we'll do over the February vacation. But the timeline is working well in terms of these are manufactured specifically for the school for that particular opening. And again, I think that will help a lot. Those doors have struggled to stay closed, especially in the winter months when there's the freezing and the thawing that frequently happens. So that'll be a significant improvement there. The new walk-in freezer, which will serve to expand the area by which we can provide, perishable foods in the freezer setting at Fitchburg High School. That's happening now. That should be completed by early December. Really, much of the connection of the walk-in freezer itself to the building will take place from the Monday after Thanksgiving through Friday. And Sodexo is the funding source for that. So as part of our guaranteed price return with our food service contract, that's one item that we determined would be a good capital investment for the school.
Jeremy, can you talk to them a little bit about that return and how that works?
Yeah, so the way that food service contracts work, and I know we heard a little bit about this at the end of probably May, June, food service companies that want to bid for those contracts, there's really no cash outlay for the district, or very little, but what the biggest item is what does that food service company guarantee in terms of return to the district for different capital purchases or enhancements to the programming. And one of the things that we talk about with Sodexo all the time is ways that we can improve our facilities. They've purchased all new cafeteria tables over recent years, and when you figure one of those is about $1,500, it adds up very quickly. So this walk-in freezer has been a discussion with Dave Semenza and the Sodexo team for a while, with with Crocker going offline, ultimately, the original Crocker, soon enough, we really will need this storage space because Crocker has served that purpose for quite a while, in addition to the space that's in Fitchburg High, but it's just inadequate now for the whole district.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yeah, no problem. We do have two large heating, ventilation, air conditioning projects that will be taking place in the summer of 2025. The reason I'm bringing it up now is we are using our ESSER 3 and our Improving Ventilation and Air Quality federal grants for these two projects that will take place at South Street and Memorial. They will replace all of the unit ventilators. They will actually add an air conditioning system at South Street. We would love to be able to afford that at Memorial, and we are looking at some options there to see if we can add some, and air conditioning at Memorial. Unfortunately, we were not able to. We didn't have enough ESSER funding to do all three schools, so Rheingold will have to wait and pursue at a different time.
Now, just to clarify these three pieces, you probably remember that we thought we were going to be able to get these completed last summer. The way we went out to bid for these, we packaged them all together, and we didn't get anybody who actually bid on these projects. So Jeremy worked with the ESSER team, and you were able to put it out there in three separate bids, correct, Jeremy?
Yeah, that seemed to be the way that I think one of the things that was happening across the state is many districts were trying to upgrade their HVAC systems, and to upgrade an HVAC system is a monster cost, as you can see. They were all going out to bid at around the same time, and there just aren't that many HVAC general contractors. There's only so many, and they were going to choose the ones that were easiest and most profitable, as you know, any shrewd business person would do. And our buildings are challenging. They're older. They often have asbestos in them. So by breaking it out into three separate bids, that did help us to attract candidates. The challenge being, you know, when we got the actual costs, we just didn't have the full funding that we would have liked to have been able to do Rheingold as well. And those three schools were determined as the three that were most in need of HVAC upgrades in an independent audit of our HVAC systems that took place during the pandemic. So yeah, that's where we are now, and I think we have two great companies, and we're excited about what that will do for the systems, the air and ventilation systems in the schools moving forward. So next slide, you can see there's more green on there, which is good. Crocker Elementary School is continuing on. It's amazing the progress every week. I know we'll set up more tours again. There's electricity now. There's going to be some temporary heat at the very least. But, you know, it's really progressing, and, you know, again, they have an April 2025 substantial completion date for the building. There's a lot more work that needs to be done, demolition of the existing building, a tremendous amount of site work. I think you've heard about 13,000 cubic yards of soil once or twice, some of you. So there's definitely real progress happening there, and in April 2025 is a real date. That's one that, you know, I think will actually happen, which is great. Crocker Field, again, that's green, that's completed. We were able to do that. And again, the Crocker Elementary School is a combination of Mass School Building Authority and city funds. Crocker Field, we were there, many of us, for the ribbon cutting. That was quite exciting, and certainly this is a unique project to overhaul the turf, the track, the lights, the walkway, the fencing, you know, a combination of ARPA funds, federal relief funds to cities, school choice funds from Fitchburg Public Schools, and also a $250,000 NFL grant enabled that to happen, in addition to just the constant championing of the Crocker Field Restoration Committee and all the work they've done over really now 20 years. So exciting, and it's great, and way more kids get a chance to play on that field all the time. So that's really the goal. The solar canopy at Fitchburg High is just about done. This is a power purchase agreement, so really the two parking lots that have the canopies will generate about 30 to 40% of the current electricity demand at Fitchburg High. They should generate just about 700,000 kilowatts over the course of a year. The savings to the city, to the school system over the term, the 25-year term, is about $1.4 million. That's the estimate. So it's an amount every year, and certainly we're excited about that. We're working on the EV chargers, which will be added in as well, and you know, there's some great rebates on those. You can get them for about $8,000 installed now. At any address. So that's really exciting between, you know, working with Unitil and Power Options. So we're looking at some other possibilities there as well. The boilers at Longjo, they're actually doing the commissioning, which is essentially the outside agency that comes in to make sure that all the work was done correctly. That's happening tomorrow. As we've used the metaphor of, you know, it's like putting a brand new Corvette engine into a 1980 Chevy Chevette. So we do have a very antiquated system at Longjo. So we're having some struggles that they refer to as dialing the system in to make sure that temperature regulation is consistent from room to room. And so we're doing some additional work with the existing system there. And again, Longjo is a good example of, you know, work that hasn't happened for a long time, and now we have to do it.
And one of the things I just want to review for everyone is the upgrades that we've done at Longjo over the last few years. We have a new roof. We have new windows. And now with this, we have a new furnace.
Three boilers, brand new, state of the art.
Three.
And all of the components that go along with that.
New doors.
New doors.
Brand new doors.
Yep. And solar panels too, correct?
Yeah, solar panels went live last year. And those actually generate almost all the electricity for the building.
So there's been a lot of capital improvements at Longjo. Granted, there's more to be done.
Yeah.
But we have...
It's holding heat much better.
Yeah, it is.
Which is great.
New telephone system.
New telephone system, new
Brand new,
security
well,
system.
yeah, the
being put
security
in.
piece too, we'll get to in a minute.
So there's been a lot of
Those
investment.
TVs.
Yep.
Yep.
The mounted TV outside to update the community.
All new locks, all new plexiglass, replacing all the glass in the classroom doors, security film on every single one of those. There's been a lot of effort at Longjo with more to come.
More to come.
And we're working with National River Watershed Association to
Outside,
do like
yeah.
a green kind of area where the parking lot where the dumpsters are.
Yeah,
Make that more of a green space.
And we're still trying to plan out the 130 Academy Street green space as well. We have possession of that lot, and you know, we're working on figuring out what to do there.
Yep. Between the you know, funds from ESSER to improve the building and the funds the city has appointed to the building too, there's been a lot of work done at Longjo. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So McKay Doors, we don't own the building, you know, it's a lease, but Fitchburg State invested, they listened very carefully to our concerns about exterior doors there, and they did replace 5 sets over the summer at $500,000, and that's really great because we had security concerns that we raised, and they were very attentive to that. Longjo Auditorium, we are working on getting a schematic design. We do have some cost estimates that to really upgrade the Longjo Auditorium will be about $4 to $10 million. So I think there's a question, Mayor. I don't know if you want to.
Dr. Knight, yes.
Yes, this is a come in peace question.
Yes, dear.
I know $237,000 is not a lot of money, but in addition to the money that we are spending on paying for McKay campus to be there, you know, would that money be enough to maybe do something to the old Crocker building for the school to be over there rather than continue to throw money down. I'm just seeing like a hole in the pocket and money just going down.
So-
But you know better than me. I'm just asking a question
Yeah.
because
Maybe
that's
you
what
want to talk about how
that's
much
what I
we paid
see.
for the lease at McKay.
Yeah, right now it's over $1 million because we're paying for the playground as well
And that's every year.
every year.
Every year, yeah.
And Crocker is our building. It
is our
It has
building.
asbestos and whatever.
It does.
But all those millions that we're putting in every year, wouldn't that do something to stop that bleeding?
The thing I would say about the Crocker building is it has significant ADA, meaning Americans with Disabilities Act, compliance issues. If you come in and you go from the west building to the east building or vice versa, the ramps, I mean, if you took a sled and put some snow on those things, you'd get going really fast down those ramps to the stairwells. It is just, it's really, what I've been described is that's the reason why we're getting a new building.
Yeah, and someone who's been, on the Crocker project for several years now, we talked about that option of actually doing a renovation to that building versus a complete new building. And it's actually, believe it or not, Dr. Knight, it's cheaper to build a new building, which we decided to do, than actually renovate it, believe it or not. It's just the name of the game and how
As
it
I
goes.
said, a come in peace question.
No,
that's a good question.
that
No.
certainly has been discussed. I think with, look at Longzhou Auditorium, and that's a good example. That's a phenomenal space that's unusable right now. It needs everything. Every aspect of that space needs to be renovated to bring it up to a place that could meet the compliance requirements, but also would be something that we would utilize in the city as well, and potentially partners, whoever was interested. So I think renovation is exponentially expensive, and when you add asbestos in, it just increases the time and cost for these types of locations, and I think most of our buildings do have that challenge. So I'll continue on. And the playground, the great news is tomorrow, the students will be using the playground. They've been watching the construction for the past 2.5 weeks, and I know they're really excited. And I believe there's a ribbon cutting on Thursday,
I think
Wednesday.
She changed it just hot off the press to
Yeah.
Wednesday at 9:45 now.
Which is great.
Yep, because of the rain. I guess we're getting rain on Thursday finally?
Thursday, yeah.
Thursday rain, yeah.
Rain?
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Right?
Is the playground at McKay similar to the one that was constructed at South Street?
Very similar.
Okay.
Yep, and Rheingold. I would say it's comparable. Yep. I think we can go to,
Security,
so
right?
I know a lot of discussion has taken place about the security system upgrade. This is a project summary here. So it is a significant upgrade. It's a discussion that's been happening since I started as principal at Fitchburg High in 2011. So to get to this point where it's almost operational is really exciting, and you can see the various components of it. It's certainly integrating existing cameras in with new, which would lead us with 380 plus over the entire district. Door alarms on the exterior doors, so that if a door is open and shouldn't be, then notifications will happen to various personnel and staff at the school who are monitoring that, from front office folks to security monitors to administration to whomever is appropriate. Door access control, so we'll have badges that all staff will be issued, and they'll be able to just wave it in front of one of the door access controls on the side, and that will unlock the door so there can be entry. vape units. This was something that the schools really pushed hard for at the middle and high school level. We know that vaping is a major concern. It's a health crisis really for adolescents, and hopefully this will help manage that and really drive that out of the schools in a way that would be useful for kids ultimately. Integrated visitor management system, so we'll know who's visiting our buildings and be able to monitor that more closely. Integrated intercom and phone system, so we know that we can make alert calls from my phone to any school in the district. Any teacher can do that and pick up their phone and do that type of thing. So it really should help with response time in the event that there needs to be a quick response. And certainly our integration with Fitchburg PD and Fitchburg Fire is helpful because in a true emergency situation, we want them to have access to what they need to see if they happen to be responding in, a true violent critical incident, as it's referred to as by the FBI and Mass State Police, as well as federal emergency organizations. And then vestibules will be built out at Memorial and Rheingold. They just happen to have that capacity there, and that just helps. You buzz in, but you're not all the way in. You still have an opportunity to interact with staff, I should say, before you fully allowed into the school facility. I think we can go to the next slide there. Yep. So in addition, we have made some other capital improvements that I think have really focused on safety. We know that that's a topic that we're all in agreement on is very important. So we have had a big full phone system upgrade, and that really does provide a greater responsive type of interactivity, but not only at the school, but from various satellite locations as well. Visitor management systems, we had a trial with that last year, and now they'll be fully integrated in with the new security system. Door and window upgrades. We did a lot at Longjo because it really needed it. So every classroom door had its glass, and that was like a tempered glass. When it broke, it shattered, and it was in big shards that were very dangerous. And so now they have a laminated safety glass, and they also have architectural film on all of those. And then we did replace all the interior classroom door locking mechanisms at Goodrich, Rheingold, and Longjo, in addition to what McKay did. And what that does is just provides a quick deadbolt locking action in all of those schools so that it's an immediate thing and teachers don't have to go into the hallway to lock their door, which is what we were seeing. We can move over to the next slide.
So next steps.
Yeah, we have a lot still to do. We are developing a 3 to 5 year capital plan with school building maintenance. We'll present that in April, May. We'll have that ready, maybe even earlier. We know certain things that we have to focus on moving forward. At Longjo, there's quite a bit still, as we talked a little bit about with the auditorium, but Rheingold and Memorial and South Street, they all have their different things that we need to focus on and put energy into, because, again, I think when we look at some of the facilities, and then the good news is with the existing Crocker, really nothing. So that's the one that we're not going to put much more into. But I think deferred maintenance is a slippery slope, and that's why we want to present to the resource subcommittee building needs first, but the largest school committee, and really the city. Here's the state of and condition of some of the facilities, and in order to make sure that they're maintained properly, and we have cost savings in the long run, we really need to make some investments, moving forward. So that's kind of where we are now, and certainly glad to take any questions.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you. Any questions regarding our capital projects or security?
The rear stair at Memorial, that was part of the civic presentations.
Yeah.
It looked like there were some, it looked like concrete stairs that had maybe some metal cover, but a lot of the, I don't know, metal pieces that used to hold
Yeah, the screws.
The screws, yeah, the screws
Yeah.
sticking up. I don't know if there's, if we can make sure that that's part of our.
For sure. That one would be even smaller, like the modular classrooms,
Yeah.
I know.
I know that was part of the presentation too.
That's a real big one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those, we've got our money's worth out of those.
Yeah. They were
Been there for a while.
1994, I believe.
Rosemary, yes.
I have a thought. In the past, I recall that there was some concern about maintaining these buildings janitorially, and et cetera, which is, I've heard of other places as well. Are we up to snuff on that? Are we sharp on that these schools are being well kept clean and things are being cared for?
Yeah, I think we have good staffing levels, first of all. We've actually added some custodial positions. Longjo, given the size, 200,000 square feet, we added one, I think, 2 years ago. We definitely have a strong team right now in place. And I think, Dan Outerson, Mark Gasparian work very carefully and consistently on making sure that, there's checklists of work that needs to be done, on their various shifts in their routes in order to make sure that, we have clean and cared for buildings. There's a limit to what the custodial team can do in terms of some of the more technical work, the electrical work, some of the HVAC work. But I think adopting FMX as a tool for work orders, so that's when, this stair issue at Memorial, someone can report that, enter it in.
What is that an acronym
Talk about
for?
the program.
Yeah, so we adopted a system. We used to do paper work orders. So the mayor brought up a good example. There's someone that notices that there's a crumbling stair or there's an issue with the tread or something like that. And they would have to get a work order slip, write it out, and then put it into the office, and then it would get over to the senior custodian in the building or, the school building maintenance director or team. There'd be stacks of these papers, and it would be hard to track what are trends we're seeing, what are issues that we're seeing, how do we develop a capital plan that's prioritized. So most school districts use some kind of system, a system like the one we're using, FMX. School Dude is one that maybe you've heard of. But we adopted FMX because it has capacity for quite a few other things, like school building use requests and rentals of our facilities, in addition to this way that we can really build out and develop a capital plan so that we can show you, here are all the boilers in our district, from oldest to newest, by manufacturer, by depreciation values. So right now, the priority to address is this one, in the East Building at South Street. That's what we intend to do, because we have to be very, very thoughtful about how these are monster costs to the district and the city.
As a further thought that I had, might not Monty Tech, because I know you led a charge of working with industrial partners in the city.
Sure, yeah, yes.
Assuring students of a job position if they took this course, etc. I was just thinking, might not Monty Tech get more involved in overseeing and offering?
They can do some. They have done a little bit of brickwork for us.
I don't mean like replacing Cogswell Park and that.
Yeah, no, understood.
Kind of like what you do, become familiar with these and in course teach the kids what it takes to,
Sure.
whatever
Yeah.
substance is.
I think so we certainly have built a partnership with Monty Tech over the last, I would say, 5 years, which has been really productive. I think many communities like ours have had contentious relationships with their local vocational school, and that's changed.
Yeah.
And we've built now this vocational partnership as well. In addition to the advanced manufacturing program at Fitchburg High, students now can be enrolled in carpentry and electrical. We have juniors and seniors that are now at Monty Tech. Once they get their feet under them, we do intend to use them for different things that we can, because
They don't know that yet, but
no,
just
no.
wait.
And plumbing is soon on the horizon next
plumbing.
year. And again, we know our big costs: electrical, HVAC, plumbing, all the time. You know, and certainly different exterior type work, brick, masonry, that type of thing. So it's a great idea, and I think, you know, we're in a good place to really build that
It'd be great to have
relationship.
state-of-the-art students coming out of our town because they had exposure to what we're doing.
Yeah,
And
no, I
be
agree.
available with their skills to wherever.
Great idea.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yep. Dr. Knight, yep.
Another question. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, but have we checked to see if maybe renting a building like Notre Dame and South Street, would that be cheaper, or purchasing it or whatever, than just keep dumping that money down into McKay? I hope nobody hate me from what is it?
We've looked at that Notre Dame building before, Dr. Knight, and that's a complete another. No, it's a good question, because that building would have to be another one that would probably be cheaper to knock down and rebuild there. There's a lot of mechanical and structural issues with that building.
And just to stop here, and then there's a lot of ghost buildings down here on downtown Fitchburg. Maybe they could assess some type of fee on them and use those buildings instead of dumping the money down, the millions of dollars in the other building. Just check.
We did roll out a vacant property ordinance and registration, and we are currently signing up vacant properties to be on the vacant property registration.
Beautiful.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay.
Great.
Thank you, Mr. Roach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to our last presentation this evening. If you recall, during our last school committee meeting, there was an ask from several members to actually go over our title grants, our titles 1, 2, 3, and 4, and just to get a basic understanding of the different funding sources for each title federal grant, and then what we are using the funds for in Fitchburg. So this evening, Glenda Colon, our Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning, who is also our titles director for the district, will go over with you our titles 1, 2, 3, and 4 grant, what the funding is used for in Fitchburg. Okay, so we have that for you this evening. Want me to run it from here? Is that okay?
That would be great.
All right, and you have that in front of you. Federal grants presentation, you have that in your packet.
Thank you. So before we get started, I do just want to kind of give you an overview of how I set up this presentation. And I also do want to start off by sharing the premise that the presentation that I'm sharing with you right now has already been approved by the state. Right? So I think it's really important to know that every year, and Jeremy is definitely aware of this, with our curriculum team, we really look at like what is the data telling us of our needs within the district, and then we make a plan for that in our titles. It's also important for you to know that whatever is on here can't be on city funds because we can't cross funds over. So once something is in titles, if it eventually moves into city funds, then we own that funding source. So I think just to give you a little bit of background on that, but the way that I'm going to share this presentation with you is I'll give you an overview on what the requirements are for that particular grant source, and then I'll give you an information on what we're using the funds for this particular year. And again, these funds for this year are already approved. Okay? All right, so I'll start off by sharing, and I'm just going to give you some like global overview. You have the written language of every single thing that is required for each of the funding sources, but for Title I specifically, one of the major foci of Title I is to make sure that we strengthen core programs within our schools, that we're using evidence-based programs, that they're also used for professional development, and that we are making sure that in Title I funding, we're also involving parent guardians as participants in our public and private school education. So that is really important, and I kind of, for each of these presentations, I'm highlighting some major areas of focus.
And just to clarify, Glenda, what's in yellow up here, this is what the funds can be used for.
Exactly, what the funds can be used for. So, and the full definition and the full, expectation for that funding is outlined there. I kind of highlighted just, some major areas that we kind of focus in on. All right, so I'll give you specifically how Fitchburg Public Schools addresses and uses these funds. Our total allocation for Title I this year was $2,845,536. The majority of the funding is used for teacher salary, healthcare, and retirement costs for Title I teachers. So when we set aside funding for teachers, we also have to set aside funding for their healthcare and their retirement costs. So those are also included in there. We also use resources, evidence-based programs such as LUCK program to support our high needs students within the district. In Fitchburg, we really do a great job, and I know that many of you have actually participated in many of the family engagement activities throughout our district, but in order to do those each year, we set aside funding to make sure that that happens. This is both at the district and school-based level. So if you ever participate in a district-wide event, this funding is utilized for some of the big events such as Farmily Day. I know that's a really big one that a lot of people participate in, or our cultural nights that are district-wide that also happens and many of our community members participate in. But each of our schools also gets family engagement funding to engage their families at each school level. So we do district-wide and school-based events. Summer planning comes out of this as well. In order for us to really provide professional learning and in order for us to plan thoughtful around our curriculum, we provide teacher stipends so that we can do curriculum summer planning. That can incorporate both professional development over the summer, and also it's used to revise our curriculum mapping as well, and teachers are involved in that process. We are required to also support our private school funding, so as you saw in the prerequisite or in the slide previous, it does talk about funding needs that we also have to provide for our local private schools. So we have $22,592 roughly, and then we also lease certain copier materials that come out of this as well. So that equals the total cost of our allocation for Title I.
So every year we have to fill out an application for these funds, and it has to be approved but at the state level. So we work with someone directly from the state, we submit our application, they look it over, they approve it. If we have to veer from how we use these funds, we have to resubmit and get approval from them if we're going to use these funds in a different capacity. Mm-hmm. So we can't do anything without the approval at the state level. Okay?
May I just express a thought?
Yep.
I've had a conversation with the after-school program at the former Julie Country Day School, and it's tremendous. But people did speak to me asking, please, could the city of Fitchburg help in the I'm saying this because I don't know which one of these things that would fit in. You might think about it. Could the city of Fitchburg help? They dropped them off at the former Kmart, at the big area there. They don't go over the Leominster line and just turn around the corner and go up to Julie Day.
For transportation for after-school
Right.
program. We do that out of 21st century funds.
Is that the YMCA? That's the YMCA.
Boys and Girls Club.
The Boys and Girls.
Girls Club.
That's who you're.
Yeah, that goes to Boys and Girls. They go to Boys and Girls
The
Club.
buses do go
But
directly to
is
Boys
she
and Girls
asking
Club.
No,
their
no.
students?
Yeah, they do.
Well,
We have a direct route directly
person
to
who
there.
spoke to, said that they could be dropped off at Kmart and then have to walk over. It's a
The problem is
unusually high.
crossing the city line.
But we still provide.
They charge extra to cross the city line.
We drive them right to Boys and Girls Club.
Well, the expense of it is unduly preventing them from being free to do other things. And I've been looking for some point to insert this information, that they require some help or could certainly do much better if they got some help on transferring Fitchburg students from that line over to the school. I don't have exact figures, but you have some knowledge of it.
I think one of the things that always was that the funds, all Title I funds are to supplement programs and not supplant programs. So it can only supplement a program, and it cannot take over and be that program.
Well, just keep it in your head.
Thank you. Jeremy is following up too.
Coordinator right now.
Yep. Thank you, Rosemary.
I just have one question on Title I funds.
Sure.
I was asked, what if with the new presidential administration, they decide not to fund the title programs?
That would be devastating.
That's basically was my response,
Yes.
and I also said I don't really have the capacity right now to handle that kind of level of
This is what would be
horror.
changed. So this number could go down.
How many teachers, Title I teachers are there?
Oh, we have a lot.
We have
used to have
over
35.
20.
Yeah, we
Over
have-
20.
Yeah, we have
30-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to have about 35.
29 now, actually.
No, that would be a crushing blow.
So
Parental programs.
thank you for bringing that up. What we talk about, Title I, II, III, and IV, it could look very different under.
And these are all federal funds.
Because these are all federal funds. So you're right, it'd be devastating. to Fitchburg.
Devastating.
Yeah, so I guess maybe, might not want to put the cart before the horse, but might want to have a plan, a thought. Keep it in the top of your mind, right, Rosemary, if that were to happen. I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So Title IIA, Title IIA is really about providing supplemental resources in support of excellent teaching and leading. Those fall under the categories of supporting student achievement. Those fall under the category of quality and effective teacher, principal, and other school leader opportunities. And then again, access to effective teachers, principals, and other school leaders, particularly in communities of low income and minority students. So in this area, we get a slightly smaller allocation. Our allocation is for $284,980. We really focus on providing professional learning. As you notice with Title IIA, a lot of it is centered around the professional learning and professional growth of our educators and our leaders across the district. So we do have contractual services with a few different partners. Dr. Ayanna Cooper, we have been working with since last year. We are partnered with Equity Imperative. We have a lot of professional learning around our ESL instruction and special education. And we also partner, and we have been partnering with Amy and Grace for quite some time around mathematical practices. And that started a long time ago at the high school when Jeremy was still there, and has slowly moved down to the elementary level. We leverage opportunity for professional stipends. One of the major pieces of feedback that we've received from our teachers, and also that many of our admin want to continue to see, is our educators really working in leadership opportunities. So this year we really moved forward with many of our educators leading professional development and showcasing the areas that they feel strengthen among the rest of our community. So they've been leading a lot of professional development and workshops, so we set aside time for that. We have a mentoring and induction teacher program that is led by Becky Mackey, so part of that is set aside. We do have a flex amount for healthcare increases that recently occurred, so we did have to add additional healthcare funding on this particular line for that. And then we also set aside supplies for some of those professional learning experiences that we have. We make sure that we have supplies for that. Any questions on Title IIA? Okay, I'll move on to Title III. Title III is primarily, just so you know, last year, they shifted Title III to completely be overseen by the Office of Language Accountability in the state. So we have primarily the work that happens in Title III funds. I work with Eva, our Director of Multilingual Learners, and we really partner in what are the needs of our English learners in our community. So the focus around Title III is providing effective language instruction and educational programs for our English learners, providing professional development, and again, to improve the instruction and assessment of English language learners. And then also providing educational programs for our English learners, which also include parent, family, and community engagement activities. So on the next page, I'll share with you, again, this is also a smaller funding amount. This is $154,791. We have quite a few contractual services for professional, I don't know why that says professional development. Yes, sorry. We have contractual services for professional development and curriculum resources. So that should actually say curriculum resources, so I apologize. The curriculum resources are Elevations, which is a really great tool that actually is a tool for collecting our data assessment. It also is a tool that does house professional development modules for all of our educators. So we are really lucky that this is both a curriculum resource and actually a platform for professional learning. We use vocabulary, flashlight, and learning A to Z in our district to support our English learners. We also have some additional funding for educational needs, such as summer tutoring. We have MCU curriculum units, so resources that are necessary for those curriculum units for our English learners are purchased every year through Title III. We have adult ESL classes within our community, and that is part of engaging our families for our English learners, so that is also leveraged in Title III. We have additional professional learning for our ESL leadership team and for our ESL teachers. We have DLA, WIDA, MABE, and MATSOL conferences and professional development that we send our educators to regularly. And then we also set aside funding for materials and parent outreach and EDU. So that encompasses the funding for our Title III. Any questions on Title III?
I would like to, in the future, speak with you for what all these things mean, DLI, WIDA, MABE, MATSOL. I have no idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not right now, though, because it's too much. But
All those acronyms.
And all those acronyms, they're all around different organizations that support ESL instruction and learning. But we can give you the specifics, Rosemary.
Okay, thank you.
And then last but not least, Title IV. The primary focus of Title IV is again around building capacity and really creating high-quality educational experiences. This is where we have opportunity and leverage in this to really create well-rounded educational opportunities for making sure that we have a balanced curriculum for our students. It also supports safe and healthy students, and also for this, they would really like to see use of technology being integrated in this as well. So I'll share with you. For this allocation, we actually received a little bit more, $209,075. And so one major area that we have been focusing on for Title IV, and I think it's really important to share, is obviously you're aware that we have 21st century grant funding for our after-school programming. That does not cover after-school programming at every single school site. And so one of the things we have been doing is leveraging Title IV to be able to fund our after-school programming at 2 sites. So this year we fund Crocker Elementary and we also fund South Street. When we need to leverage funding for that, we have to pay for the staffing. We have to pay for transportation as well. And we also have to pay for the materials and resources for that programming. So what you'll notice is that there is quite a large funding use for the programming both at Crocker and at South Street. So, we have staffing costs above, which is the majority of some of our programming. We also have the after-school programming transportation, which is the other dollar amount that you see below, which is also a very large cost. And then I'm really excited to share that there were 2 additional things that we added to our Title IV funds for this year. One was a focus around technology. So we included both a library lead and a technology lead this year. The library covers library media. And so we're really excited that we've been able to have more focused work around unified arts, and they get to have a more differentiated professional learning experience. And we've also set aside $10,000 to be able to support programming for the unified arts program for things such as we actually covered not this particular funding, but the most recent field trip that they had for the local central Mass. That transportation was covered in this programming because they have not been able to do that in the past. So we're very excited that we have funds to be able to support the unified arts this year.
I have another question. Must all of these funds be spent and then that's the end of the year? Can anything be rolled over to the fall?
Oh, that's a really great question. Yeah, actually, there are a percentage of things that can be rolled over from one year to the next if they don't get used.
What we'd receive from them?
No, that's a great question. Yep, you're allowed to have a
1 year rollover.
You're allowed to have 1 year rollover. So we can't hold on to funds from 2 years ago, but if there's something left over from this year, we can certainly roll it into next year.
Good question.
Yeah, it was great. Any other questions? Wonderings, concerns? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
The last item this evening is we are submitting a grant. If you remember, when we had our school presentations, McKay and Longzhou are still in the bottom 10% for their accountability status, and because of that, they are eligible for an acceleration grant for students to help close the achievement gap for our students. So it's a $22,000 grant to actually hold acceleration academies for students over February school vacation week, and we are asking for permission to apply for that this evening.
All right.
Oh, and then tomorrow night, Mayor, if I'm correct, at 6 o'clock, you have a joint meeting tomorrow evening.
Oh, yeah.
With school committee and city council to vote for new school
Elect
committee
two new
members.
school committee members to
For
Monty Tech.
Monty Tech.
Did everyone get the
Okay.
the packet of information?
Yes.
All right, and that'll be a joint meeting with the city council, and that'll be conducted by ranked choice voting.
And that's right here at 6 p.m., correct?
Yeah.
Right here,
All right, here.
right here.
All right, thank you, Mayor. That's all I have.
Thank you, Superintendent Thompson. And committee members, we just have one item before us.
Just one, going over grants.
Oh, sorry.
I read today in the Sentinel, that big economic bill, there's a large amount included in there for education.
Good.
If you look at the Sentinel and you read through, and it's kind of like buried in this large economic bill, sounded like each school system's going to have to hire a DEI coordinator. There's a lot in there. There's like $400 million or so going to be for schools, and it's buried in the economic development. Well, look in the Sentinel.
I haven't seen it all yet. I got
But is this?
a
this is-
summary I haven't read
This is
yet.
for the current administration, correct?
Yes, right
For
now.
the state,
Yes.
the state economic
State-
development bill.
State,
Okay, state economic.
yes.
So this is good.
That's
So there
good.
could be a lot of money for a lot of programs.
Oh, good. Good to hear.
Yeah.
I look forward to reading that.
Will be paid, really riveting. Yes. All right, 24-434, action item is the only item left on our agenda.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve action item 24 Pardon me?
Was that a second?
A second. Somebody wants to adjourn.
All right, that was a quick second. Okay, we have a motion to approve 24-434 to approve the superintendent's recommendation to submit the following grant, Acceleration Academies grant, and a second. Do we have any discussion?
All in favor? Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, that is unanimous. That is approved, and we have no other business.
Motion for adjournment.
Motion and second to adjourn, and I'll take that by unanimous consent. We're adjourned.